Here now is Jane Pauley.
Returning now to our story. You've seen how a few simple skills and items of clothing may help you survive a plane crash. But what about your kids? As John Scott tells us, parents are faced with a choice that's not always so easy to make.
That 22-month-old boy who lost his life on 232, I will never forget as long as I live.
Flight attendant Jan Brown-Lohr has been carrying a heavy burden of guilt for 6 years, ever since United Flight 232 somersaulted in flames into that Iowa cornfield.
I knew in my mind and my heart when I said, people with laps, put them on the floor now, that this was not the best thing for infants.
Laps, or lap babies, are children under age 2. And according to federal regulations, they're permitted to fly in their parents' laps for free, rather than in their own seats. If a crash is imminent, most airlines advise parents either to hold lap babies tightly or simply place them on the floor. That's the advice Jan Brown-Lohr gave passenger Sylvia Sow, who put little Evan on the floor as their crippled plane came in for a crash landing.
When we hit, he went off like a missile, and I guess they found him later, but he did not survive.
Brown-Lohr helped passengers get out. Then she scrambled into the cornfield.
Sylvia Sow just looked up at me and she said, "You told me to put my baby on the floor," and I did, and he's gone. And to this day it gives me chills because my first thought was I'll have to live with that for the rest of my life.
Since then, Jan Brown-Lohr has been campaigning to get kids out of the laps and into the straps.
Every piece of galley equipment has to be secured. A can of Coke, coffee pot is safer than a child sitting on a lap.
The FAA reports that since 1978, the deaths of 5 infants would have been prevented and major injuries to 4 infants avoided if they had been strapped into their own seats. But Tawanda Brown did not know any of that when she boarded U.S. Air Flight 1016 in July of last year.
Do you think you ever will fly again?
No. I still have nightmares.
Brown was holding her 9-month-old daughter, Denasia, on her lap as the plane approached Charlotte Airport during a thunderstorm.
After it started going up and down, I clutched Denasia in my arms as tighter than I was holding her before. A woman to my left, she said, "Oh my God, we're gonna crash."
The DC-9 slammed to earth just short of the airport. Tawanda Brown blacked out. Denasia disappeared.
I don't know what happened.